Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Renz. In this video we will look at best strategy for Nuclear Winter that you can use to level up super fast. Before we get into the video, I just want to thank my subscribers for my PlanetSide 2 video, and I want you guys to know that I've got some more PlanetSide 2 content planned for the future. I decided to make this video because of how hard Nuclear Winter can be to get into, and I wanted to share information which will make winning a lot easier, so that you can have a better experience. So without further ado, let's jump into my recommended perks. On screen right now is the perk loadout I recommend. In a second we will go into detail on each card and why exactly I recommend using that specific card. Starting with Master Shotgunner. This perk is essential to our loadout because of how it boosts the damage of the guns we will be using during our strategy, which is namely the Gauss and Combat Shotgun. This perk gives a great boost to their damage and stacks well with other damage increasing perks. Next up, Ski Cheater. Ski Cheater is great with the Gauss shotgun as it allows you to jump around and be super hard to hit, while still easily racking up kills. It is also just great because of the increase in hip accuracy, which allows you to easily kill players close to you with any shotgun. Ironclad. This is a great survivability perk card that gives you a great boost to damage resistance. It's especially useful for when you're struggling to get your hands on marine armor, as it makes scout and wood armor pretty okay. Tenderizer. Tenderizer is an absolutely godly perk to have. It will significantly increase your damage with all weapons because of how it is applied multiplicatively to your total weapon damage after all your other damage perks. You can always switch it out for Life Giver if the 9 charisma requirement is a bit tough, but I highly recommend it. Demolition Expert. We use Demolition Expert because it increases the damage of explosives from our Gauss shotgun and grenades. Grenades are extremely powerful in Nuclear Winter when used correctly. Frog Legs. This is a great mobility card. Once you use it, it is hard to stop because of how fast it allows you to reach high places. It's also great because it allows you to jump around during fighting, and it makes you incredibly hard to shoot. Bloody Mess gives you a 15% bonus to all your damage. This works well with Tenderizer to allow you to use other weapons and still do great damage, in the case that you struggle to get your hands on a Gauss or Combat Shotgun. Now that we've gone over all the perk cards I recommend, I'll give you some helpful tips before we carry on to the strategy with some footage. My number one tip is to play in third person. This may feel uncomfortable at first, but the advantages it gives you are super significant, especially as you're playing with a shotgun loadout. Playing in third person allows you to peek over and around corners without exposing yourself. It also makes aiming significantly easier once you get used to it, and it allows you to easily gun down people while jumping. Third person has great synergy with Frog Legs, because jumping and shooting at targets in first person is significantly harder than when you're in third person. My second tip is to always keep an eye open for bobbleheads and magazines. They can provide more damage and survivability bonuses which can stack up and make you extremely powerful. They also have fixed spawn locations, so you'll always find them in the same place. You just have to hope to get the boost you want. Some important bobbleheads and magazines to keep an eye out for include Guns and Bullets number 7, for a 10% increase in damage with unscoped weapons. US Covert Operations Manual number 3, for a 10% decrease in damage from enemies. US Covert Operations Manual number 4, for a 10% increase in damage to enemies. Small Guns Bobblehead, for an increase in damage with most of your weaponry. And the Explosive Bobblehead, for an increase in damage with all of your explosive weaponry. My third tip is to have a quick bind to Stimpaks. This is a button you can press to quickly heal up, and it's extremely important. It allows you to quickly heal using the Stimpak without having to use your inventory. Mine didn't want to bind to my mouse button, so I binded my mouse button to it instead. My fourth tip is to set up your quick inventory and to keep it relatively organized so you can quickly access your items. I personally keep my weapons in the first few slots and fill up the next few with boosts, such as Psycho or Med-X. You can quickly change it around by pressing C to replace the slot, or R to drop the item in the highlighted slot. My fifth and final tip is that you can cancel your power armor landing animation by quickly changing from third to first person. This is super helpful because it takes like a good second and a half to land, and this landing process makes you very vulnerable. Now on to the final part of the video, the actual strategy. I'll give you a brief overview of the strategy if you want to stop watching the video. But if you stick around, I'll show you exactly what to do and explain some of the decisions I made during the fights. So here's a quick map with the route I take and the power armor and bobblehead spawns on the way. I suggest spawning on the big red circle and going straight upstairs of the power plant. Doing this gives you a big height and loot advantage, so you can take out any enemies spawning around you. Just generally follow the red path and you'll get all the loot you can, and then you can move into an appropriate area once you're finished with the path. I sped up the looting because it took up a great deal of the video and it's just quite boring. I'll have timestamp to the fight breakdowns below, so you can go straight to that if you like. On to the strategy. I'll spawn in the power plant yard and grab the loot inside the yard. I'll then clear the top of the power plant and one of the silos for the bobblehead. I'll then head over to the wooden cabin and see what two bobbleheads and magazines spawn inside of it. After that, I'll run down to the farm and look for power armor and see if I want the magazines on the second floor. Then finally, I'll head over to Morgantown and just look for kills with my gear. So at this point I heard footsteps, so I cloaked. This way I could get the jump on someone. I killed this dude, but then his friend shows up. So I decide to back down in case more of his teammates come. I grenade the wall to stop anyone from pushing, and then this guy on the roof, he just pops out. He doesn't do much damage, so I decide to take him on. The storm comes in, and I don't think they had great loot, so I just left.
Promising candidate from testing. By you, no less. Intriguing data. last member of a squad. Continue to learn. This area will be engulfed in flames soon. Prepare to move to safety.
I get shot at here, so I decide to just scope the area and see how many people there are. I just see one guy, so I decide to take him. His teammate shows up and shoots me, so I decide to use a medic to give me a little boost and help me in the fight. Here I start getting shot at from the back, so I know I need to take cover and take one of them at a time. I drop down and take the guy still shooting me. I then hide in the bush and quickly heal, and prepare for the next fight. I decide to full kill the down people, so the last guy doesn't have an incentive to push me. This gives me some time to quickly grab any good loot. Thanks for sticking around to the end, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you found it helpful, please leave a like and subscribe.
This wasn't